Alright fam, strap in, cause what I'm about to break down might be the nastiest, most embarrassing moment in Drake's whole career. And no, I ain't just talking about the not like us body bag. I'm talking about the grand national takeover, the moment Kendrick Lamar pulled up with one of the most disrespectful moves in hip-hop tour history. And Drake's only response is to hide behind lawsuits and OVO goons who out here sounding like internet weirdos with threats that barely passed the sniff test. So here's the setup. Kendrick announces this massive tour, stadium level, not your lil arena run. He's selling out places rappers don't even dream of touching solo. And in the middle of all this, 2 nights in Toronto, let that sink in. That's Drake's home, his turf, the Six Gods Kingdom, or at least it used to be. But now, Kendrick booked the Rogers Center, the biggest venue in the city, a place Drake has never headlined solo. All those years of running the game, all that King of the Summer talk, and now you watch another man come through and do what you couldn't. That's not just an L, that's a Lifetime Achievement Award in humiliation. And the wild part, Kendrick ain't even say much. He just let the tour flyer do the talking. The dates got posted and the internet immediately caught on. The streets been whispering, damn, Kendrick about to spin the block in the 6. And look, this ain't even beef no more. This is domination. Like when a boxer don't just knock you out, but stands over your body looking unbothered while the ref counting you out. But Drake, he ain't going out with grace. Oh nah. Instead of bowing out or even firing back with bars, this man resorted to the pettiest, most desperate moves we done seen in years. First, he went the legal route, filed a whole lawsuit claiming that Universal used bots to boost not likers. Imagine that, one of the biggest rappers in the world, instead of responding with music, decides to cry in court that the numbers ain't real. The same man who's been accused of inflating his own streams for years is now complaining about bots. That's like a scammer calling the cops because someone else ran the same hustle better. But it don't stop there, because behind the scenes, this OVO crew allegedly been on some super weird energy, straight up sabotage mode. Back in the day, Drake already proved he's not above blocking shows. When Schoolboy Q was scheduled to perform in Toronto, it got canceled last minute. Why? Because Drake had ownership ties to the venue. That's not speculation, that's on record. Q and his team pulled up to perform and got turned away at the door. Cold-blooded, but effective. But this time, it's different. Kendrick ain't pulling up to no side venue. He's at the Rogers Dam Center. And the money involved here is big. We talking tens of millions per stop. The city want this. The people want this. The culture needs this. So what's a bitter artist supposed to do when he can't control the building? He sends in the mouthpieces, the clout chasers, the pawns, and to Top 5. If you don't know who that is, consider yourself lucky. He's like the dollar store version of a Suge Knight henchman. All bark, zero bark quality. Top 5 been riding OVO's coattails for years now, trying to build a name by barking loud and saying out-of-pocket shot every chance he get. And lately, this man been on demon time, but not in the way you think. Top 5 slid into Act's stream and straight up suggested that Kendrick needs heavy protection if he gon' perform in Toronto. Like, bruh, we ain't even talking diss tracks no more. You saying Kendrick might get physically touched if he steps into the 6? That's not rap, that's some clown shit. That's you trying to scare a man off a mic with fake threats and weak tough talk. And Academics sat there and let it rock. Didn't push back, didn't blink. That silence, that's approval. Now let's not pretend this is all disconnected. Drake and Top 5 are cool, real cool. Top 5's even going on record saying that Drake helped fund his legal fights. That ain't just supporters, that's an investment. So when Top 5 talks spicy on behalf of OVO, you can bet that ain't random. That's part of the play. Create tension, stir fear, maybe get the show shut down for safety, and if not that, at least get the narrative going so promoters and officials feel uneasy. This is the oldest play in the industry. Weaponize chaos to protect the brand, but it's also one of the dirtiest. Cause let's keep it a buck. Hip-hop ain't about threats. It's about bars, about competition, about culture. Once you start throwing around violent energy just to protect your ego, you've already lost. And you know what's even more disgusting? Ain't no other major outlets covering this. Not Complex, not Hot New Hip Hop, not XXL. You'd think with all that smoke Top 5 was blowing, somebody would pick it up. But nah, it's been real quiet, which tells you exactly how protected Drake still is. These platforms ain't neutral, they selective. They'll post every little thing Kendrick does, but when it's time to hold the golden boy accountable, radio silence. But here's what they ain't count on. Kendrick ain't shook. He ain't moving dates. He ain't adding extra security and folding under pressure. Nah, he locked in. The Grand National Tour is moving like a well-oiled machine, and Toronto gonna be no different. If anything, Kendrick probably gonna make it even more legendary just off the strength of all this nonsense. So while Ovo trying to spin narratives and toss up distractions, Kendrick already one step ahead. What he got planned for that Rogers Center stage? Man, I don't even think we ready. But I'll get into that real soon. So boom, let's talk about how Kendrick flipped this whole situation on its head. OVO tried to stir fear, tried to get Toronto tense, tried to psych Kendrick out with threats and distractions, and bro didn't blink once. Matter of fact, he did the opposite. He leaned in, he turned up the disrespect, made everything even more theatrical, and left zero doubt about who running hip-hop right now. If the first half of this story was about Drake's desperation, the second half is about Kendrick's dominance. And the way he moving, man, is different. So let's get into how Kendrick responded. Did he go live and rant? Nah. Did he jump on Twitter throwing subs? Nope. What he did was hit the stage with calculated disrespect. At the Minneapolis opener, the first stop of the tour, Kendrick rolled out a full-on mock funeral for Drake. Yeah, I said it, a fake funeral, complete with flowers, orchestral strings, and an eerie speech that felt like he was burying Drake's career in real time. And this wasn't no low-budget gimmick either. This was Broadway-level showmanship. Man basically gave a eulogy for the sixth god, and people in the crowd ate it up. And just when folks thought that was the peak, Kendrick dropped a new remix of Not Like Us Live with different bars tailored to the current moment. He ain't say Drake's name directly, but every bar hit harder than a punch to the chest. He rapped like he knew everything OVO tried to pull, and instead of running, he weaponized it. Kendrick stood on that stage like, you want me out the city? Nah, I'm taking the city over. Now picture that same energy, but amplified when he gets to Toronto. Everybody know Toronto gonna be the most important stop on this tour. It ain't just the city, it's the symbolism. Kendrick performing in the one place Drake thought was untouchable. But what Kendrick about to do in those 2 nights, that's legacy stuff. That's rewriting the rules of what beef aftermath looks like. And what makes it even colder is how strategic Kendrick's been. His team, PG Lang, they ain't missing a step. The production is clean, the messaging is sharp, even the visuals and merch are sending messages. You cop a shirt and it's got coded bars on the back. You look at the stage screen, it's showing clips that feel like a cinematic takedown of Drake's image. Dude ain't just rapping, he building something. He turning every move into a moment. Meanwhile, what Drake got? A lawsuit that made him look pressed, a fan base that's starting to question him, and a crew of affiliates like Top 5 out here saying the wildest stuff that might end up haunting him in court or the press. Let's be real. If anything goes down at that Toronto show, even just one incident, Drake's name gonna get dragged through the mud. Fair or not, that's the trap he built for himself by surrounding himself with goons instead of soldiers. And peep the irony, the more they try to stop Kendrick, the bigger he gets. Like fam, Not Like Us already got stadiums rocking. You really think trying to cancel a show gonna stop people from chanting, they not like us, in the middle of downtown Toronto? If anything, it makes Kendrick's message hit harder. He became the underdog, even though he winning, cause Drake looking like the jealous gatekeeper who can't take an L. And here's what's crazy. All this chaos still ain't stopped the tour's momentum. It's on pace to become one of the highest grossing hip hop tours of all time. The Minneapolis opener pulled in over $9 million. That's more than any Drake solo show's done. Every single date is selling out. Fans posting recaps like they just saw Hamilton meet Death Row. It's a whole vibe. Kendrick ain't just performing, he baptizing fans in smoke. So now that Toronto is approaching, the tension, insane. You got police looking into threats, fans wondering if they safe. But Kendrick, calm as ever, ain't postponed nothing, ain't changed a thing. That man is moving with the poise of a general in wartime. It's like he expected Drake to panic. Like he knew once the music couldn't save him, Drake would show his real face. Insecure, petty, and scared. And let's not pretend like Drake's legacy ain't already taken a hit. This whole situation done opened people's eyes. They looking at his catalog like, damn, was he always this insecure? They looking at OVO like a bunch of yes men who'll do anything to protect the bag. Meanwhile, Kendrick, standing 10 toes down, letting the music and the moves speak louder than any tweet. Look, we've seen rap beef before. We've seen Jay versus Nas, 50 versus Jay, Pusha versus Drake. But what Kendrick did, this a new blueprint. He didn't just win a battle, he flipped the genre's politics. He made a whole tour of the victory lap. He let Drake's own fear expose itself. And now, we're watching a man lose his throne, not through diss tracks, but through silence, paranoia, and collapse from the inside. And don't even get me started on the public. People done with the Drake victim arc. They laughing at him now. From the lawsuit memes to the Top 5 clowning, the internet been cooking him all month. Meanwhile, Kendrick barely saying anything and still got the loudest voice in the room. That's power, that's strategy, that's chess. So what's left for Drake? Honestly, not much. He can't win a lyrical war, he can't stop the tour, and the PR moves backfiring heavy. His best bet might be to disappear for a while. Let the dust settle. Maybe come back with some honest music, if he still got that in him. Because right now, all we see is a man unraveling, and no amount of streaming farms or woe is me lawsuits can patch this up. And Kendrick, bro, already walking off into the sunset with the crown. The Toronto shows ain't even happened yet, and they already feel like a coronation. Whether you a fan of his or not, you gotta respect the W. He did what every real MC dreams of. He walked into the lion's den, shut it down, and made the lion look like a house cat. So what do you think? Are we witnessing the actual end of the Drake era? Can he bounce back after this? Or is Kendrick Lamar now the undisputed king of hip-hop? Not just lyrically, but in every sense that matters. Let me know in the comments. And if you rocking with this breakdown, you already know what to do. Hit that like, smash that subscribe, and check out the next video where we break down how Kendrick planned this whole thing months in advance and how the industry got played without even realizing it. Catch y'all there. And remember, they really not like us.